guys, Tirza Schaefer here, the smiling goddess. I hope you're doing well today. I'm happy. I just had some books in the post yesterday and a bit before, so I'm going to show them to you. And, if you feel interested in any of them, might be an inspiration for your next read or something. So I'm going to start with what I ordered from when I was researching the Morrigan, which is the first one is Cuchulainn and the Crow Queen by Bernard Kelly. And I've not read this one yet. I've read the story, related to the Morrigan goddess. So on the back it says, let me show it to you so you can see that, what it looks like. Okay. And on the back it says, these stories have been told for 2,000 years. At their heart stands the great Ulster hero Cuchulainn, and on his shoulder sits a dark goddess in the form of a crow. She is the mistress of chaos, surveying the slaughter as he whirls in fury through an ancient yet still familiar world. Their dynamic force has helped shape the history of Ireland, its tribes, its warrior queens, its dispossessed kings. Harnessing the imagination of a modern storyteller using often overlooked material, this work is an exhilarating retelling of an epic journey following our champion from a disputed birth through to the Battle of the Bulls and beyond. That sounds adventurous, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it, would I? So the second one that I got, when I came across when researching the Morrigan, that I haven't read yet, Myths and Legends of the Celtic Race by T.W. Rolleston. Oh, wrong side. Anyway, there's nothing at the back. You've just seen it, so nothing to read to you. But there you go. And I've come across this author in recommendations a few times. So I thought, looking forward to reading that one as well. And then the next book, just a little disclaimer here so nobody gets confused. We all know what I would maybe call the big club. So like the power behind the thrones kind of thing. And do not confuse that with what I'm reading here and this book, because that's a different thing, okay? And totally different intention. So it's called The Mystical Qabalah by Dion Fortune. Okay, so there you can see. And it's got nothing to do with the big club, okay? The Mystical Qabalah. Dion Fortune explores the mystical and symbolic teachings of the Qabalah, a mystical Jewish tradition that delves into the nature of the divine, the universe, and the human soul. However, Fortune's interpretation of the Qabalah extends beyond its traditional Jewish roots and incorporates her own esoteric insights and teachings. The book covers various aspects of the Qabalah, such as the Tree of Life, the 10 Sephiroth, the pathways connecting them, and their corresponding spiritual attributes. Fortune presents complex spiritual concepts in a clear and accessible manner, making it an excellent resource for those interested in understanding the symbolic and metaphysical aspects of the Qabalah. Which I think is great because it's always confused me. So that's why, I asked for a recommendation on the Qabalah and the traditional one. And, that was one of them. So I'm going to start with that one. The mystical Qabalah has been praised for its depth of knowledge, clarity of presentation, and its ability to provide practical applications of Kabbalistic principles to personal and spiritual growth. It remains a popular and respected text in the study of Western esotericism and continues to inspire many modern practitioners of the occult arts. Okay, there you go. And again, talking about self-development, spiritual development, in a positive manner, okay? Nothing to do with the big club. So, Lost Goddesses of Early Greece, a collection of pre-Hellenic myths by Charlene Spretnal. There you go. So I thought that was super interesting because, Greek and Roman mythology is so patriarchal. And I know that like early goddesses were kind of over time, phased out or made lesser than, and as the patriarchal, the male gods rose more to power in mythology. So I thought that was super interesting, and I'm really looking forward to going through that one. It's not a big one either, so it's probably, yeah, quite a light read, I think, from what I see in terms of how much it is, quantity, but it seems to be very interesting. And you've got some notes on bibliography and bibliography in the back as well, which is cool, and index. So not an index, but references, footnotes. So that is, Robert Graves, the Greek myth, Jung, you have Jung a few times in here and things. So you can see somebody's done their research, which is so cool. So yeah. At the back, it's all hang on. Oh yeah, there's just a little blurb here, and the rest is all reviews. For thousands of years before the classical myths were recorded by Hesiod and Homer, the goddess was the focus of religion and culture. In Lost Goddesses of Early Greece, Charlene Spretnal recreates. Sorry, this is a really light color here, so it's very difficult to read. Charlene Spretnal recreates the original goddess-centered myths and illuminates the contemporary emergence of spirituality based on our embeddedness in nature. There you go. See, it's very light. It's very difficult to read. Sorry about that. Yeah. So then we have one before last that came like highly recommended as well from so many different people. Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And Elizabeth Gilbert said A Hymn of Love to the World. So that looks interesting. I'm looking forward to reading that as well. And the on the back you just have like reviews by other authors and things. So yeah, we're not going to read those. But anyway, it came highly recommended. It's highly rated as well, which isn't always, you can't always rely on that, obviously, with books, but I've seen highly rated books that were utter crap and vice versa, so you never know. But that came highly recommended from a lot of people, so I'm really looking forward to having a look at that and reading through that. And the last one, which I found and had to, this look inside feature on the Zon. And I thought that was such a cool idea, which is the Goddess Guide, Exploring the Attributes and Correspondences of the Divine Feminine by Priestess Brandi Auset, which Auset is another name for Isis. I do have a similar book, like where you have like goddesses listed, and there's just, I don't know, a couple of lines about each of them, but which I didn't find all that helpful, I have to say. But this one, although it's very brief on the goddesses of each one, it's brilliant the way it is made and the structure of it. It's a really great reference book to have a look at and go from there. And, you know, obviously you will then have to go on and do your own research on whichever goddess tickles your fancy, really. But it's so interesting. So on the back it says your ultimate guide to the goddess, introducing the most complete cross-reference ever for the universal worship of the divine feminine. The Goddess Guide is indispensable for anyone who's ever wondered which goddess to invoke for a particular ritual, blessing, prayer, or meditation. Easy to use and comprehensive, this essential book provides instant at-a-glance information on more than 400 goddesses from diverse cultures, belief systems, and traditions around the world. All goddesses are clearly organized according to names, attributes, colors, the four elements, the sabbats, geographical regions, feminine aspects like maiden, mother, and crone. And you also have like a light and dark, you know, maiden, mother, and crone in each one. Whether you are a beginner or a long-standing practitioner who seeks a deeper connection with goddess energy in your life, the Goddess Guide deserves a special place on your bookshelf. Priestess Brandi Auset, California, is a high priestess of the goddess, an interfaith minister, and a Reiki master and teacher. Me too. She has taught private workshops on helping women develop a spiritual practice and currently works as an intuitive spiritual counselor. So we have, let me just show that to you because I think obviously there's an introduction in the front. Then you have number one, the goddesses. So if you can see, it's just like, you know, a paragraph on each. And, you know, they go by alphabet. So you can, if you're looking for a particular one, you can just, you know, go down the list by alphabet. And we have in chapter 2, attributes, like, for example, abundance there. And then it lists all the goddesses of abundance. Probably not all that there ever was, but quite a lot. Then we go to agriculture here, and it goes on and on. It's really interesting because there are some that you might not, you know, like some topics that you might not have thought of, like, and then are not usually referenced when talking about deities. So we have anger, aggression, maybe that one is, but here arbitration, arts and crafts, astral travel, athletics, authority. Authority is something that is not often referenced when you look at the divine feminine, is it? So that's a particular one that I'm enjoying here. Balance, beauty, banishing, new beginnings, birth control, boundaries, blood, brewing, alcohol, beer, meat, brewing, magical, calm, rest, business, success, cemeteries, change, chastity, childbirth, midwife's birth, and so on and so forth. Really, really cool, detailed as well in that sense that you don't have just like, I don't know, 5, 6 major ones, but there's quite a lot in here. And then we, you know, so it's a great reference book. Right. So let me show you the next one. Hang on. Bear with me, but I really want to show you this because I find it so interesting, fascinating. Okay, the next one is color race. Okay, so you have the different colors of the spectrum, of the light spectrum. You have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, brown, gray, white, silver, gold, and rainbow. And each one, as you can see, just has a little paragraph, which is a great way to start. And then we have the list. So we start with red and look at all the goddesses it has already, you know, the first couple of pages. So there's a lot of them here. So if you, and a little more on the next page. So yeah, if you want to work with colors, particular colors, and you want a goddess reference with that one, that is something I don't see too often either. Maybe here or there for any one particular goddess, but really having like a whole chapter and a whole list devoted to that is just, I just find that so fascinating and so wonderful and helpful as well. So then we have the elements, which you probably all know is earth, air, fire, and water, which is just, you know, briefly explained in little paragraphs. So then obviously, you know, there's lots of earth, starting with earth here. Hang on, this way. So it's the other way around. So it's a bit difficult, but you know, how many earths is here? Air is only starting here. So there's lots of them, okay? We have the wheel of the year, you know, all the Wiccan. Oh, cat, shut up. Sorry about the cat. She's always coming at the most inopportune times. And so we start with you here. And yeah, you can see that. Again, so many goddesses. Oops, it's a bit. Oh, there you go. So many goddesses for one particular you know, time of the year to celebrate, and Imbolc and Ostara, Beltane, and they're from all different kinds of backgrounds as well. You don't only have the ones that are traditionally in those traditions associated with those particular days, but you know, you've got like from all over the world. So that is just absolutely wonderful. You know, I love that because I really love variety. As you will have noticed if you've ever looked at my website, and the part about the goddesses, also, you know, spirit animals from all over the world. And, you know, I've got a few gods as well, but I do, you know, put my main focus on goddesses, the divine feminine. So chapter 6 is about Maiden, Mother, Crone. So there's a brief explanation of that. And then you have the light maidens, starting with that here, light maidens, which are so many already. And then you have the dark maidens, go from here. Then you have the light, oops, this way, the light mothers, and so on. Same with crone, no light and dark. Then we come to chapter 7, regions and cultures. So you can absolutely go by region and culture: Africa, Middle East, Asia, India, Central and Eastern Europe, Mediterranean, Northern Europe, Celtic realms, Pacific Islands, Australia, the Americas. So yeah, you've got the whole world, isn't it, at your fingertips here. Okay, bibliography, which is so cool that it's got a really extensive one, I think. Well, not that extensive, but there's a lot. Then we have index here as well. And yeah, so yeah, this lady has definitely done her research and is cross-referencing and things. So that is always a good thing to note. And easy reference. You've got a few blank pages at the back, so you might take some notes on that one. If in here, if you feel like it, I usually use a journal or, you know, my computer, whichever one, depending on what I want to do, you know, if it's a personal thing or if I'm researching for my goddess articles and things, depending. Anyway, so that is today's stack. And yeah, very excited about those books. But I do need to do my accounts first. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If there's anything that tickles your fancy, as I said, you know, I haven't read them yet, but you know, the last one, The Goddess Guide, obviously is a reference book. So looking through that and seeing so many goddesses, the one thing I will say though is usually goddesses have different aspects as well. So if you feel like for you personally, you connect more to a different aspect than it says somewhere else in the book or wherever, you know, don't disregard that and say to yourself, oh no, they're experts, I don't know, so I better find another one or something. If that feels within you, that's your association and your reference, totally do that, okay? Go by your own intuition. That's always your highest authority. All right. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Much love. Bye.